have parents who tell us that their kids, they knew from the minute they were born practically, and actions like refusing to get a haircut or standing to urinate, trying to stand to urinate.
What the fuck? Welcome back, everybody. And for those of you out there that have tried to say that science and political ideology have not become entwined, especially when it comes to these woke ideologies, that I'd have to say that you're consistently proven wrong time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. There was all this controversy that's come up. PolitiFact tried to shut it down, that the Boston Children's Hospital was performing gender affirming procedures on minors. And then they denied it. They changed a bunch of stuff on their website after a tweet was sent out by Libs of TikTok. Shout out to them. And then they were acting like, oh, it's not real. Here's what their website says. And then people are like, well, their website yesterday said this. But then people, they're always good for one thing, and that is the receipts. Pulling up the receipts. And you saw a little bit there at the top of the video when I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm going to show you the full video released by the Boston Children's Hospital via their social media, so you can get the context as to what their standards are for what makes a child transgender.
A child will often know that they are transgender from the moment that they have any ability to express themselves, and parents will often tell us this.
From the moment they're able to express themselves, you know that babies, like literal babies, express themselves all the time. They're able to express happiness when they laugh. They're able to express sadness because they cry, hunger, playfulness, disgust, frustration. They're able to express all these things when they're literally like 6 months old. So you're telling me that from the moment they're able to express themselves, they're able to know they're transgender. So a 6-month-old then by that logic would know they're transgender. I don't believe that. I know that sounds crazy, but guess what? There are people out there that actually fucking believe that shit.
We have parents who tell us that their kids, they knew from the minute they were born practically.
They knew from the minute they were born. How the fuck would you know that? How would you know that your kid... How would a child who has no concept of really the world at all know that
and actions like refusing to get a haircut or standing to urinate, trying to stand to urinate, refusing to stand to urinate.
Refusing to get a haircut makes a kid transgendered. Refusing to stand to pee. You mean because kids generally, when they get potty trained, they just sit on the toilet because everything comes out at once? So there's a level of confusion that always occurs when you tell them, a boy in particular, that, hey, stand to piss. And the kid being confused by that is like, oh my God, he's confused by the concept of standing to pee. That must mean that he's trans. It couldn't possibly be because he's never actually experienced standing and peeing before. It has to be because he's trans. Oh, yay. Oh my God, I'm going to go cut my hair and dye it blue. This is a medical professional, by the way, who's making these types of arguments in favor of trans kids. Haircuts, peeing, standing up. This is how much they're lowering the standard for what will constitute them putting in all this transitioning stuff while they're simultaneously passing laws in places like California that are making it illegal for parents to not put their kids into gender affirmation, whatever that even means. It should be gender transitioning, because gender affirmation is you were born a boy, affirming that is you're a boy. Transitioning would be now you're a girl, by the way. So they muck up the language a bit there. But they're literally passing laws where if a parent doesn't do that and the kid expresses it, a teacher can report them to CPS, and then CPS will take the kid away and give the kid, regardless of how old they are, the gender affirmation surgery, the gender transitioning surgery, the gender changing surgeries. So keep this in mind, that they're passing these laws while simultaneously releasing videos like this lowering the standard, lowering the threshold for what even constitutes somebody being considered transgender.
Trying on siblings' clothing, playing with the quote opposite gender toys, things like that.
I had wrestling toys growing up. My sister played with them all the time. They were considered boy toys. My sister is definitely a fucking girl. She's totally a girl. She's really girly now. She was really much a tomboy when she was a kid. Thank fucking God my parents weren't completely out of their goddamn minds, or else my sister would now be my brother. All because up until the age of like 8, she was like doing chin-ups and shit and ripping the head off my Undertaker toy. I'm still fucking mad at that.
There is more and more a group of adolescents that we are seeing that really are coming to the realization that they might be trans or gender diverse a little bit later on in their life.
Gender diverse. Gender diverse. That sounds like a weird way of trying to apply transgenderism to a child who is curious and exploring every single bit of its surroundings. Every single bit of his or her surrounding. Like, especially if they have another sibling. Gender diverse, it's like, oh, if their older sibling's a boy, then they'll probably want to relate to them and start mimicking what their sibling does. Because generally, a younger sibling will look up to their older sibling, at least for a certain period of time, and try to do things to try to get what's called approval and stuff like that from them. Especially depending on how much older the person is. But we're calling it gender diverse because, oh, they're sometimes a boy, sometimes a girl. No, they're sometimes just doing things. They're just exploring the world around them and every single thing. Literally exploring every single thing that comes into their line of sight. Because that's what kids do. Did I point out that this is a medical professional?
So what we're seeing from them is that they always sort of knew something was maybe off and didn't have the understanding to know that they might be trans or have a different gender identity than the one they had been assigned.
Than the one that's been assigned. Gender's not assigned. It's not assigned. It's observed. Gender is observed, not assigned. Observed, not assigned. Observed, not assigned. Observed, not assigned. Observed, not assigned.
So that is a growing population that we are seeing, and that's being recognized as being trans and able to be treated.
So according to the Boston Children's Hospital, as you saw, refusing haircuts and playing with the opposite gender's toys, which I don't even know what that means because I thought gender was a social construct this whole time. That's the entire argument behind transgenderism in general, is that gender itself is a social construct. Therefore, what does opposite gender toys even mean? Because there's no such thing as opposite gender if gender in and of itself is a social construct. But anyway, apparently those are the signs that your 3-year-old is trans, and then they should go out and be getting surgeries done. And if you don't believe me that they don't do surgeries or whatever, here's what the actual Boston Children's Hospital had posted on their website before they got exposed and changed it and claimed that they don't perform anything on minors. Here's something that was right on their page. Breast removal for trans boys at age 15. Previous guidance suggested that this could be done at least a year after hormones around age 17, although a specific minimum age was not listed. Most genital surgery starting at 17, including womb and testicle removal, a year earlier than previous guidance. What? So we're cutting off girls' tits at 15 after a year of hormones and genital surgeries. We're performing hysterectomies on children. Hysterectomies on children. We're castrating young boys, cutting their balls off. 17 or younger. This is the medical field. This is the medical field where they're supposed to be science driven. And this is just another thing that over the last 2 years has been proven without a shadow of a doubt. And that is that science is bought and paid for. It's trademarked, baby. It's got that TM on the end of the word. It's got the C, the copyright symbol, all of it. It is 100% for sale like everything else. Scientists are whores, just like the women who walk the street at night in the clear heels. They are willing to bend over and take it at the behest of the highest bidder. Don't ever, ever be confused about that. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. They're whores. They're the biggest whores that there are. Scientists are the biggest whores that there are now. Science trademark, science TM, whores. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it. They are what they are. They sell themselves as much as anybody. And they'll do it at the behest of the elite class and at the expense of your children, whether it be with a certain thing that they continue to approve for people as young as 6 months old, or whether it be cutting off parts of their body, healthy parts of their body, simply to be like, we're super woke and inclusive. Thank you. But that's all I got for today. Make sure to leave your comments on this topic in the comment section. Leave a thumbs up on this video to help with the algorithms to push it out to more people. And as you saw, the logo was popped up on my chin. That's the subscribe button. Hit it, or you can just hit the button down there that says subscribe. And then there's like recommended videos on either side of my head based upon what YouTube thinks that you'll also enjoy that I've posted on my channel over the last 8 months or whatever. So thanks for coming. Bye.